Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Animaking 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto was the legendary Uchiha x Namikaze. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune for the rest of what is coming your way over in Animaking and Animaking 3. If you're new, yes, you heard that correctly. I indeed have 3 channels, Animaking, Animaking 2, Animaking 3, which I post what I find every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Animaking family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last spot we left off, Tsunade was back. Tsunade was kind of grateful to Minato, because, with her problems, he allowed her to leave the village, and he did not send anyone after her. He allowed her the time that she needed to cope, but right now he needed her, so she was back to help with his war, despite that she definitely did not like it, as Minato made Naruto a ninja of Konoha. Mikoto was watching Minato sternly as he was doing things that were out of the ordinary, as Tsunade was curious why Naruto wanted to risk his life so easily. But he'd risk his life for his brother and his mother in a heartbeat. To keep them safe, to keep the people safe, he would risk his life at any given time. As Minato told Naruto to fetch 2 persons, and with that Naruto was gone. Minato then started to explain, as he got information on Onki's army and the Stone Army. And the Kiri army, Jerry was confused because not even he had this information. So he was wondering how the hell did Minato got it. Minato told him about his secret, what he has been doing all this time. He had a secret organization. A man didn't appear as he was wearing a mask. His name was Baku, but he was said to have died in the previous war, so it was rather shocking to see him here, as he had served with Hiruzen in the first and the second. The man, yes, as Koharu and Homura had to give him his respect. After all, he deserved it after all he did in the war. But Minato had found him as he was kidnapped at one of the camps and brought him back, and there he started this secret organization. Extraordinary people from all over the elemental nation, as they were strong enough to wipe out the entire Hidden Stone with their infiltration tactics and their right motivation. Mikoto got pissed off when she realized that Minato was trying to put Naruto into this. It was then that Minato explained what he had to do to get the fundings, as he allowed a lot of criminals to run organizations through the Land of Fire. Mikoto, despite everything, was an honorable woman, and she did not like those things at all. She was furious and she was pissed, and she told him that she would not let Naruto join this organization. Shisui was against it as well, as Kakamai sided with his daughter, as Naruto was too young for all of this. But Naruto was an adult and he could make his own choice. But Mikoto hit it off as she was gonna find him. He was not gonna do this no matter what. Naruto didn't find the girl, her name was Misaka, but the girl didn't seem like she was wanting to join. He also had to find Armin. The girl seemed like she wanted to kill him because she said that Armin was her only friend that she had left, as Naruto could see that she has went through a lot. But she decided to bring him to Armin because if it wasn't him, it was going to be the envoys and it was going to be a lot more precise and rough. So she brought him. Meanwhile, as Jiraiya had woken up back after making a lewd comment and Tsunade had knocked him out, Minato then started to explain the Akatsuki role in this, and not to mention the members of the organization, one of them who everyone knew, and that was none other than the Snake Slannon himself, Orochimaru, as Hiruzen was shocked to hear that. So yeah guys, that was basically that's what left off. You guys can switch across the place for yourself, so let's begin this new episode. Orochimaru. The name shocked Hiruzen as he heard that. But everyone knew that Orochimaru was a monster. He was one of the most evilest men in this world. He was a student of the Third. He was a Sanin, and one of the best scientists in this world. But he did not do his scientists for good. Twisted, corrupted things, experiments. They were just inhumane. Are you sure about this, Hokage-sama? Said Shisui. Even he wouldn't want to face Asante in combat. Meanwhile, Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Hiruzen were shocked to hear this. Despite what the man had become, he was once a part of their team, a friend, like a family. Only one thought was running through their minds. How far have you fallen, Orochimaru? The information is absolute, there's no mistake. However, he's not the leader of this group, said Baku. What? He's not someone that would work under someone's rule, said Tsunade in shock. Unfortunately, there's a man who's more powerful than him. That he calls his leader, said Minato. Impossible. It can't be. Silence, said Minato. As everyone went quiet. Jiraiya then spoke next. Who is the other? He asked. It is someone you thought to be dead, Sensei, said Minato. A shiver went down Minato's spine. The other member of the Akatsuki that we have identified is a woman, named Konan. Jiraiya was shocked. It couldn't be. His student? His student? No, that was impossible. Konan was a very kind, gentle girl. What could have made her fall this low? What happened to her? Where the hell were Yaiko and Nagato? Suddenly, Jiraiya's eyes went wide. Could it be him? Who is Konan? Said Kakashi. Konan, a master of origami, paper ninjutsu, and earth-style ninjutsu. Her genjutsu and taijutsu were good. A S-rank kunoichi from the Genin. Her intellect rivaled that of Minato, said Jiraiya. How do you know so much about her? Said Hiruzen. As there was a time in war, Jiraiya had went AWOL. Tsunade and Orochimaru had covered up for him. While he was not fighting on the front lines though, he was still supplying information to Konoha. This mystery, it seemed to be a link to why he disappeared. Tsunade's eyes widened as she looked towards Jiraiya. Now she remembered exactly who this girl was. She was a part of the group that Jiraiya had trained. She was about to speak the truth, but when she saw Jiraiya's broken face, her will broke. Jiraiya, he acted like an idiot, but he was the only friend that she had left in this world. He loved her, and he did everything for her, without asking for anything in return. She would never say it out loud, but he was the most precious person in her life. And to see him in this state made her really sad. On the outside, it seemed like he was normal, but Tsunade knew him better than anyone else, because there was a time in the past when the both of them had been in a relationship, and they had shared a secret. But she knew that Konan was Jiraiya's student, and if that was to be revealed now, a lot of questions would follow. Jiraiya got pissed. Too pissed to be exact. I'm the spy master of this village. From where I got the information is none of your business. So screw off, he said angrily. We didn't mean any disrespect, Jiraiya-sama, said Chikaku. These old bats really pissed off a lot of people quickly. She's not the leader either. But this isn't the worst news, said Minato. What could be more worse? Asked Danzo. As Minato turned towards Hiruzen, Orochimaru. He has perfected that jutsu. Hiruzen's eyes widened in panic. What jutsu? Asked Kagami worriedly. Edo Tensei, said Minato angrily. Everyone in the room was shocked. The jutsu was the most dangerous thing in the world. Even a tail beast bomb wasn't as dangerous as that jutsu, because it could not be destroyed. It gave you an immortal army, which was unstoppable and indestructible. This made things worse, Sensei. Do we have any idea who Orochimaru is controlling through that jutsu? Said Kakashi seriously. Minato gave a sad look to his student. He wasn't going to like it. Hoshirama Senju, Tobirama Senju, Hatake Sakamo, Mito Uzumaki, Senju, and another unknown shinobi, said Baku. Everyone's eyes were wide. You're joking, right? Said Koharu. Does it look like I'm joking? Said Baku. No, said Koharu. Then shut the hell up or I'll rip your underwear off. As everyone chuckled at hearing the comment, while Koharu's face turned incredibly red. Only two people were not amused, and they were Kakashi and Tsunade. Sensei, is my father really being controlled? Is there any way to free him and the others? Asked Kakashi. Despite the differences he had with his father, he still loved him, and to see his father's soul being violated, that was unacceptable. The Edo Tensei can only be stopped by the caster itself, or if the person who's being controlled is somehow able to free themselves. Other than that, there's no possible way that we know of yet, said Minato briefly. As Kakashi nodded, he looked quite dejected. Are my uncle and grandfather aware that you're being controlled? Said Tsunade. We are not sure, but from the information we got, Orochimaru did not start the jutsu, so we cannot know for now, said Baku. Troublesome, said Chikaku. Hokage-sama, with such dangerous enemies, I'm going to need more troops in Black Light. but all of my forces are either on the front line or behind enemy lines. And I personally don't have the time to go searching for new exceptional recruits. Do you have any other possible candidates who can help us win this war? Said Baku. For once, Minato gave a confident nod as he pulled out a file. As he placed it down on the desk. I knew this was going to be tough, so I selected 300 more recruits. They are all capable. I would like to know some of their capabilities, since all the people here are some of the most trusted people in the village. And so they can hear that we still have talented people in this war to help us win it, said Baku. Minato thought about Baku's proposal. As he looked around the room, they definitely need something to lift their spirit. He was right. I will tell you some things, but remember, this is top secret information which you cannot reveal to anyone. Well, you can't either way. What do you mean, said Gonzo. That is none of your business, said Minato. As Minato already placed seals on their bodies. Even if they want to tell, they could not tell anyone about Black Light or the strategy to anyone. Not even Yamanaka can break through, because if they try, both of the parties will end up dying. Despite them being a part of the Konoha Council, this was needed, because in these hectic times it was needed. Over the past years he has marked all the council and military leaders with his seals, so no secret can get out. As he pulled out the file and started to read, Naruto Namikaze, a powerful water style user, Kiki Genkai unknown, rest of his skills are classified. Sense of intelligence is on par with a Chunin, and good leadership skills. Current heir of Namikaze clan and elder son of the 4th Hokage. Mikasa Ackerman, a level-headed person, remain calm under any circumstances, has unnatural speed and strength. Rest of the information is classified. Armin Alder, the smartest of his generation, has an IQ over 200, though physically weak, but has all the possible traits to become the next Jonin commander of his village. Rest of his skills are classified. Anko Mirashi, a tough girl, specialized in taijutsu and ninjutsu, one of the most dangerous of her generation. Yujeo Uzuki, a gifted kunoichi for great swordsmanship, and a good lightning user. Hana Inuzaka, the daughter of Tasumi Inuzaka and the heiress of Inuzaka clan, best possible recruit for a recon team, and a good addition for a strike team. The rest of his skills are classified. Hayate Gecko, another talented child. He has great talent for swordsmanship and fire ninjutsu. Good infiltrator. Rest of his skills are classified. Aoba, a good sensor, has great talent in genjutsu. Shizune Kato has great talent in medical ninjutsu, has the potential to pass Tsunade Senju in a few decades. Good recruit for the medical unit. Rainjutsu Matsumoto, born with a powerful chakra, has abilities that has been classified. Other promising candidate for the strike team. Izumi Kamizuki, specialized in weapons and water ninjutsu. Katetsu Hagane, specialized in weapons and a powerful fire-style user. Yamato Noharu, a powerful earth-style user and has great stamina and strength. Rest of his skills are classified. Genma Shiri, a powerful fire-style user, possess great speed and intelligence. Rado, specialized in taijutsu and weapons. Aiwashi, a rare fuinjutsu specialist, and one of the best possible recruits for the communication team and emergency task force. The War Council was shocked after hearing about so many promising children. If trained properly, they can become a lethal force that could destroy any enemy. There are 284 more children that has been chosen for Black Light. Should they accept to join, train them well, and I expect good results, said Minato. As you wish, Hokage-sama, said Baku. Baku was satisfied. If there was one thing he loved about Minato, the man never hesitated. He had the guts to do what was necessary, and he didn't give a damn about what anyone else thought. He was so similar to the Tobirama. The way they ruled, the way they thought. Even their faces were similar. Both of them were master of teleportation as well, if one could say. That is some good news, said Shisui in a relieved voice. Hokage-sama, I have a plan in mind that can help us gain advantage over our enemies, said Shikaku. What do you have in mind, said Minato. Baku Teiko, with your current forces, do you think that you can hold an entire front? And how long will it take to train these new recruits? Yes, I can hold an entire front with my current forces, but without reinforcements we will suffer heavy casualties. My forces are strong, and in a head-on battle they can demolish any army. But if we have to hold an entire army, we will be stretched thin, and the enemy would most likely overwhelm us. Hokage-sama proposed to divide our entire army into 5 divisions, said Shikaku, as he pointed towards the world map. We are right in the center of Shinobu World. I plan to divide our force into 5 divisions. The first division will be a mid-range battle force, which will be deployed directly to Kumo borders, which will consist of 4,000 shinobis. The second division will be a short-range battle force, which will play a major role in the war because it will infiltrate river country, which is right next to the grass and very close to the hidden stone. The stone armies generally have shinobis with Urka Finte, and they prefer close combat. The second division will be the best deal with them. It will consist of 4,000 battle-ready shinobis. The third division will be a short mid-range battle division. It will be deployed towards Wave Country, and it will be to hold Kiev forces and prevent any surprise attack from Kumo by sea. It will have 5,000 battle-ready shinobis. This division will have a large number of envoy forces in it. The fourth division will be a long-range battle division that will be deployed right beside the first division. Its primary objective will be to destroy Kumo advanced forces and infiltrate their country. It will also provide tactical support for the 3rd Division in Wave in case of an emergency. It will have 3,000 shinobis. The 5th Division will be a special battle division. It will consist of our Keiki Genkai shinobis and the entire rebel forces of Kiri. It would be deployed right in the center of our country. It would be a backup for all the divisions, but it would primarily support the Black Light Troopers and protect the southern region of our country. Why is that, said Minato. I plan to deploy the entire Black Light forces on the stone, Taki, and the grass borders. They will hold the enemy as long as possible, and with support from the 5th Division they can move forward and destroy the hidden stone. Danzo spoke up. However, the casualties in Black Light will be very high. You are forgetting, Danzo-san, Black Light are pepper shooters. They can destroy the enemy forces faster than our own forces. The reason they're deployed there because the stone like to charge head on, and with the weapons that the Black Light have, they can destroy them from the air as well as the ground. Plus they will have the support of the 2nd Division as well as the 5th Division. Casualties will be high, but this is what they're trained for, said Shikaku. What about the medical division? There will be a lot of injured from all fronts, said Tsunade. Yes, a small company of our best medics will be stationed in Hajiko. It is a small base that we have developed in the previous war. It is very close to all the divisions, so casualties can be moved there, while the battles division will also have a few medics. In case of any emergency, we can send the medical unit of Black Light. Can I make a suggestion, said Kagamai. Minato nodded. I recommend a formation of a small surprise attack unit, while Black Light deal with the stone. The rest of the companies need some tactical support. This surprise unit can provide and support the 5th Division with surprise attacks. A very good idea. We still have a few shinobis left, and they can be transferred to this unit, said Hiruzen. Unable to maintain communication and transformation intel, we have to form an intelligent unit as well, said Kakashi. So be it. I will form a sensory as well as intel unit to provide updates about the enemy and transfer intel. But what about our internal security? There has to be some law and order in the village. Our shinobis will be in the front line. How are we supposed to maintain peace in the village? Homura said. The police force will keep the peace in the village. Some people of my clan and some powerful shinobis will help keep the peace in the village, said Kagamai. Everything is decided. Does anyone have any objections or suggestions? Speak now, said Minato. None of them replied, so he understood that they all agree with this plan. Hokage-sama, you need to appoint the leaders of the division, said Shikaku. As Minato nodded, Jiraiya Sensei will be the commander of the 1st Division. As Jiraiya nodded, accepting the job, Hiruzen-sama will be the battle commander of the 2nd Division. With his experience and intel, he can infiltrate the borders of the Hidden Stone quickly. I shall lead them to victory, Hiruzen said firmly. Kakashi, while you're young, your intel is on par with the Hokage. You have fought in a war, and you have the respect of the entire village. You are a hero, an icon. Your man will be facing a dangerous enemy, and they will need a hero like you on the front. I appoint you the commander of the 3rd Division. The 3rd Division will defend Konoha to the last man. I give you my word, the enemy will not get through our front lines, said Kakashi. He was very angry that his father was being used like this, and his village was in danger. He would protect Konoha at all costs. He was Kakashi Hatake, the famous copy ninja, and the last remaining student of the famous Yellow Flash. I will be the commander of the 4th Division, as well as the supreme commander of the army. Under normal conditions, I would have stayed away from the front, but this time, I will be on the front from the start, and I plan to destroy the Kumo army with my Harashin. We believe in you, Hokage-sama, said Shikaku confidently. Kagamai-san, you are a war veteran, as well as the Keiki Genkai shinobi. I appoint you the battle commander of the 5th Division. All our life will depend on your division performance. We won't let you down, said Kakamai. Tsunade-sama, you're the head of the medical division, with my wife, Mikoto, Namikaze in second in command. Please, protect the life of our shinobis. I will save as many as I possibly can. You can count on the medical division, said Tsunade confidently. Shisui, you will be the captain of the surprise attack division. Like Kakashi, you are also one of our bravest shinobis. Lead your man well. Your commanding officer will be Danzo Shimura. He has the experience of 3 wars, and I expect good from both of you. Yes, Hokage-sama, I won't let you down, said Shisui. I will not let anything happen to Konoha, said Danzo curtly. Inoichi will be the head of the Intel Division to relay us the information, while Takana Kurama will be the commander of the Sensory Division. Shikaki will stay with Inoichi and Takan at our HQ and will coordinate our entire army and create new strategies, said Minato. Troublesome. It's a lot of work, but I'll do my best, he said tiredly. Homura-san, Kaoru-san, you two are also war veterans. I appoint you the head of the internal security of Konoha to keep the peace in this village with the police force and the help of our shinobi guards. Yes, Hokage-sama. We shall make sure this village is kept safe, the both of them said. This meeting is now over. Report to your stations and make sure that you're ready the next 24 hours. All of you can leave except for Jiraiya-sensei, Tsunade-sama, and Hiruzen-sama. Everyone gave a deep bow as they left. Being a leader really sucks. As soon as the room was clear, Minato destroyed the table with nothing but his bare hands. His eyes then turned, twisted with rage, as he threw it towards Jiraiya. What the hell is this? As the 3 of them looked at the scroll. So he found it out, huh? Well, he's smart, just like his father Hiruzen thought. I sent Naruto and Itachi Jin for testing. And guess what I found, said Minato. We can explain, said Tsunade in a worried tone. Minato was a good man, but not when he was pissed. After all, they couldn't really block his Harashin. The man could take your head off in an instant if he wanted. This was a top secret that we have hidden for all of our lives, said Jiraiya slowly. We did it because we were ordered to do this, said Tsunade gently. As Hiruzen stepped forward, there's a reason why Naruto has an ability to control water. And the reason why he's a good sensor and a powerful water style user. And you're the only man in this world that can perform the Harashin technique. And that is because Minato cut him off. I am the son of Tobirama Senju, he said. Yes, you are the son of Tobirama, and a part of the Senju clan. Well, what is left of it anyway, said Tsunade. The Senju clan had fought violently, but they were all taken down in the wars. Even the Uchiha's numbers are cut severely after the 3 wars. The other villages had targeted the Senjus and Uchihas because they knew if the founding clans were wiped out, Konoha would be greatly weaker. Why was I never told about this, he asked sternly. It's because it was your mother's dying wish. My mother? Of course, idiot. Where do you think you got those looks from? Jiraiya, this is not the time, said Tsunade. What was her name, said Minato sadly, as he didn't know anything about her. Tsunade came forward and placed a hand on his shoulder. He was her family after all. Her name was Toka Senju. She was a kind-hearted woman, quite opposite to your father. She was pregnant during the last days of the first Great Ninja War. Unfortunately, your father sacrificed his life to save his team, said Tsunade. She was just a kid back then, but she could never forget her uncle and her aunt. Tobirama was a strict man, but he loved her dearly, as well as her aunt. What happened to her, said Minato. There was some complications during her birth, and she was left with 2 choices. Either give birth to you and die in the process, or save you at the cost of her life. And she wanted you to be born no matter what. A lone tear slipped from his eye, as to think that his mother sacrificed herself for him. It made him feel sad and helpless that he never got the chance to meet her and say how much he was grateful. She was a good thinker. She knew that your father made many enemies, even in the village itself. Unlike you, your father was not popular amongst the Uchihas. She feared for your safety. The Senjus and Uchihas always been on thin ice since the founding of this village. After your father's death, there was very less powerful Senjus left. So she asked us to keep your identity a secret. She didn't care if you would be known as Senju. She wouldn't want you to live a happy life. Why? Why save me? She could have lived. she could have another chance of life, said Minato. He felt responsible for her death. It's not your fault, woman. They're strange beings. They love us men despite all our faults and our mistakes. They're the reason that we exist, and your mother. She did not hesitate to sacrifice her life to watch her son born. You know, her and Naruto have the same personality. Kind and gentle, but strong-willed too. His heart eased a bit after hearing that. The Namikaze were a foster family. A small family. When I discussed this with them, they agreed and kept the secret until they died. But they did love you as if you were their own, said Harrison. As Minato nodded, does anyone else know? The three of them bit their lips. Yes, another one, no. Who is it? Orochimaru, said Harrison. Meanwhile, Naruto and Mikasa were walking to the alley. As he was getting a bit annoyed, this girl was unusually quiet. She never spoke unless he asked her directions. He was not some kind of spoiled brat, and he behaved with her in a good way, so why would she ignore him completely? You must be thinking why I'm ignoring you, she said calmly. He was surprised as she read his thoughts, as she gave him an understanding look. Genuinely, I don't talk to strangers, no offense. And why is that, said Naruto. Because we live in a devious world, and everyone wants something from you. There's always a catch, and if you want to survive, the only one that you can trust is yourself. It's not just shinobis who lie and steal, but other people also do that, knowingly or unknowingly. You always have to watch your back when you don't have family or friends to protect you, she said. I won't say I understand how you feel, because I grew up with a family, but I don't have any friends, said Naruto. She was surprised after hearing that. He was son of Hokage. Most kids would like him, just for their family's sake, for their kids to be, well, friends with the Hokage's son. Why is that, she asks. Everyone my age wants to be my friend because I'm the son of the Hokage. They're only interested because I'm the heir of the Namikaze clan. They only see me as the Namikaze boy, not myself. And it's better to have no friends than people who just see you for your fame and power. She looked at him with a sad look. It seems like everything was not so good even with him. I see, she said. Is Armin your good friend, Naruto asked. Yes, he's my best friend. He's like family to me. The only one I have left, she said. Well, you both are lucky to have each other as friends. Mikasa didn't know what overtook her, but she moved closer and grasped his hand. If you like, we could be your friends. I understand if you don't want to. I mean, she was cut off as Naruto hugged her. She was surprised as he was thanking her over and over again. As Naruto was feeling a lot more happy, all of his life he had been with his family. He had met a few clan kids, but they weren't interested in him. They were interested in Hokage's son. As such, he never had any true friends, but in the past hour he spent with her, it made him feel happy. She didn't see him as a Hokage's son. She wasn't interested in his clan. She talked to him like a normal person. On the other hand, Mikasa, she was surprised. He was different. He was calm, understanding, and he treated her with respect even if she was an orphan that no one knew. This feeling of happiness she never experienced since that incident. And after she met Armin, would this friendship even work with Hokage or villagers even accepted? I would like to be your friend, said Naruto happily. She didn't want to say anything bad, but she wasn't used to the contact. But Naruto felt it. Oh, I'm sorry, he said. I just got carried away. You're the first friend I ever made in my life. It's okay. Just don't do it again, okay? She said seriously. Yeah, said Naruto. Damn it. Get yourself in line, idiot, he thought to himself. What was he doing, just acting like a child back then? Armin should be here somewhere, she said thoughtfully. They then heard voices. As the both of them went towards the voices. Look what we got here, a fat boy said. Huh? A old hat. A crybaby like you shouldn't have this, another voice said from another boy. Hey, give it to me, another thin boy said. As Armin was holding a small hat in his hand, the others were bullying him. This belongs to my Jiji. I won't give it to you. Then take this. As he was punched right in the face. Hey, said Naruto. Stop that. As he moved towards the bullies, but someone pushed past him in that incredible burst of speed. It was none other than Mikasa as she jumped. The bully, eyes widening as she stomped into his face. She crushed them within seconds. They were no match for her as she threw them into the wall and gave them a murderous look. If I ever find any of you near Armin again, I'll kill you, she said. As all the bullies ran off, as they were moving rather slowly, seeing that they were in incredible pain. Hey, said Naruto as he walked over. As he offered his hand, are you alright? As he took Naruto's hand. Thanks, he said. Wait, You're Naruto Namikaze. Yeah. By any chance are you Armin, said Naruto. Yes, I'm Armin. But what are you doing here, Armin said. He has come to give you a message directly from the Hokage, said Mikasa. As Naruto pulled out the chip and handed it to Armin, who took it. As Armin read it, his hands were trembling. Is this really true? Armin asked in shock. Yes, and we have to report back to the Hokage in 2 weeks with our answer, said Mikasa seriously. Armin looked at Naruto for a second. By the look of it, if we were asked to join, and you, given that you're from 2 powerful clans, then you must possess some special ability as well. I suppose they asked you to join as well, am I right? Armin said. Quite smart, Naruto thought to himself. Yes, I've already agreed to this in order to protect his village, said Naruto. I can't join, I'm sorry, said Armin. Naruto had a feeling that he would say this. Why? Are you afraid, he asked. Or don't you care what happened to our village? Don't say that to me. My parents and grandparents died in the line of duty. And what did they get in return? What? Said Naruto in shock. He didn't know that his parents died in action. They died to protect this village. And all they got was their name on a stone. I grew up without love of a family in an orphanage. You don't know how that feels, how much it hurts. They all were foolish people, Armin said. Naruto grabbed him roughly by the shirt. Don't you ever say that. I can't understand your pain. I won't tell you I can. But don't insult them, they all died protecting this village. It is because of your parents and your grandparents that we can live peacefully. It is because of their sacrifice, so don't call them foolish. I'm sorry that your life was hard, but they gave theirs so that we can have a tomorrow. But they left me alone, Armin said, a few tears in his eyes. You're not alone, said Naruto. You have Mikasa. I know you have me. I won't abandon you. Why? I'm just a nobody. You are Armin, Arler, and from now on, you're my friend. So I guess that means you're not a nobody anymore, said Naruto with a smile. Armin's eyes watered on hearing that. They then heard noises coming from the main street. It was getting louder and louder. We should check out what is going on out there, said Mikasa. As the 2 boys nodded, when they made their way towards the main street, they saw a lot of people there. There were many shinobis in their uniform, and they looked like they were going somewhere. What's going on? Asked Mikasa. As an old man looked up, his tone said, the shinobis are moving to the front lines. They're leaving today to fight this war. Many of them won't make it back, the old man said sadly. It is very early, said Armin in shock. So, it's already began, said Naruto. Please, father, don't go. I want to spend time with you, a small black-haired girl said, a middle-aged man. As he bent down and hugged the little girl tightly. It's alright, Neo-chan. Your dad will come back in just a short time. When I'm back, I'll bring a lot of gifts for you. You promise? That you won't go away like mom, she said. I promise, he said sadly as he held her in a hug. As Naruto clenched his fists. As he walked back into the alley. Where are you going, said Armin. Bam! The wall cracked as Naruto's fist embedded in it. He has some physical strength, said Mikasa. It's all because of the enemy. All because of them, said Naruto. As that scene. As he understand what the man was trying to do. To soothe his daughter and to comfort. Her mom probably died in the previous war or something like that. And he didn't like seeing something like that. What if her father didn't come back? What are you gonna do, said Armin. I'm gonna join Black Light. And with the power I gain, I'm gonna use it to destroy each and every one of our enemies. The both of them stepped back in fear as they felt the chakra bubbling under the surface. And there was look in his eyes. He then ran off without saying a word. Armin wanted to follow him, but Mikasa stopped him. Both of them looked at each other. They had a decision to make, one that will change their life forever. Time skip. Minato was in front of the gate in front of his house. A lot of things were running through his mind. His entire life had changed today, and he didn't know what that meant for him and his family. But one thing for certain, he will always be a Namikaze. His mother wished for him to live a good life, and he had fulfilled her wish. Also, his foster parents had taken care of him, so he will also be a Namikaze no matter what. He didn't want to tell his family the truth yet, there was too many problems going on. He felt Mikoto in the house, and Itachi as well. I guess she wasn't able to find Naruto, he thought, as he entered. The moment he did, he saw her eyes. Her Sharingan was activated and glaring at him dangerously. We need to talk. Meanwhile, as Naruto made his way towards Uchiha compound, there was only one person he could talk to besides his mother. As he reached his grandfather's house, as he saw the person he wanted to meet, as Shiso sat there with a calm look on his face. Good to see you, Naruto-kun. Uncle, I need to talk with you, said Naruto. Of course, have a seat. I'll bring some water for you after that. You can tell me what is troubling you. Thank you, said Naruto. If there was anyone after his mother that understood him perfectly, then it was his uncle. Shisui was always kind and gentle to both him and Itachi. He acted like a big brother to them. And Naruto knew if he ever needed anything, he can come to Shisui. On one hand, he knew his mother didn't want him to go in black light. His family didn't want him to do it. As he could even see that Shisui was against it. But he wanted to protect his country. But he didn't want to break his mother's heart. She meant everything to him. But at the same time, he didn't want to sit back and do nothing. After a few moments, Shisui came back. So, what is troubling you? Alright, said Naruto. As he told him everything. So, it's like that, huh, said Shisui. Yes, said Naruto. As you're right now, Naruto, you're not fit to be in the front line, much less in black light. That is why but he was cut off. And despite this, you still want to go and fight, don't you? Yes, I do, said Naruto. As Shisui watched him for a good minute. That's fine then, he said, with a smile. Huh? Said Naruto. You still don't know anything about your power, but you're still. I'll wait for you to fight. But what about mom, said Naruto. Always remember this, Naruto. It doesn't matter what people want you to be. What is most important is what you want to be. Uncle, said Naruto. Well, I haven't taught you that much in life. If you like, I can teach you, said Shisui. It will help you fight and protect yourself and your comrades. Really? Yeah. Then what are we waiting for, said Naruto. Shisui chuckled as they made their way towards the training ground. As Naruto was excited, Shisui was the best teleporter in the village, after his father, as he even gave him a nickname, Shisui the Teleporter. He also excelled in ninjutsu and shuriken jutsu, and his Sharingan was said to be the best in the entire Uchiha clan. So what are you going to teach me, said Naruto curiously. How much time is left before you're shipped out, asked Shisui seriously. 2 weeks, said Naruto, and then I have to leave. Have your mother, or Minato, taught you anything? Yes, they taught me the tree walking and water walking. I already know the entire theory about chakra as well. Ah, that's very good. It will make it easier for me to teach you ninjutsu, said Shisui, as he pulled out a paper and gave it to Naruto. What's this, uncle? It's a chakra paper. All you need to do is channel your chakra into the paper, so we can find out what affinity you are. Fire, water, wind, earth, and lightning. As Shisui then went over the theory of all the nature transformations, and how the paper would change shape. Oh, said Naruto, so you're saying that most clan has a special affinity. So what about Uchiha clan? Well, we excel in fire ninjutsu. We're the best when it comes to words like art. So since mom is a Uchiha, doesn't mean that I can have fire chakra as well, said Naruto. Maybe. Let's find out, said Shisui. As Naruto focused on the piece of paper and channeled his water into it. What happened next shocked Shisui. The paper got so wet it just broke away. Shisui activated Sharingan as he saw there was so much water in the paper that it broke up on a subatomic level. But he also saw it crumble as well. And he also saw some burn. Impossible, he thought in shock. Such high affinity for water has never been seen except for one man within Konoha, and that was the second Hokage. He also had earth and fire as well, but water was his primary affinity, and the power was just unbelievable. So, does that mean... Shisui looked towards Naruto. There was only one clan that inherited such natural affinity in water, and that was the Senjus. He thought that Naruto had fire of his strongest, given the fact that Mikoto was his mother, but water was the strongest out of fire and earth for him. You have 3 affinities: water, earth, and fire, said Shisui. That's amazing, isn't it? Said Naruto. Yes it is, Shisui said. But he knew something was up with this. It didn't make much sense to him. But he will find out later. So that means it's better if I learn water style ninjutsu, said Naruto. Yes, but judging from your stamina and your chakra levels, you'll only be able to learn small technique at first. So, do you know any water ninjutsu, Naruto asked? Well, I don't have affinity for water, but I do know a water ninjutsu that I can teach you. What is it? Said Naruto. It's called a water clone. It creates a clone out of water that has 1/10 of the original's power. Like other solid clone techniques, the clone can be used to perform tasks that the user is unable to do for themselves. As he brought Naruto towards a lake, as he went on top of the water, as he activated Sharingan, as he looked towards Naruto's feet, the boy was standing in the water so calmly, and he was barely using any chakra. He surely had an affinity for water, yes. This is a C-rank jutsu, and it can be performed by Tiger Seal. Watch carefully, said Shisui. He then made Ram hand seal, as 2 clones rose from the water. Now you try, but use only a limited amount of your chakra. Don't overdo it, said Shisui. As Naruto saw his uncle did it, and he had gathered, with his sensory ability, the right amount of chakra as he placed his hand together. Shisui's eyes widened when 20 clones of Naruto emerged from the lake. Idiot! I told you not to overdo it. But I didn't use all my chakra, said Naruto. What? No. What? Shisui was shocked. That was just amazing. So, did I do it right? Yes. This jutsu is easy, but when you don't have a water source nearby, it will be rather difficult. But with time, I think you can learn how to manjit, said Shisui. Can you show me the fireball jutsu, said Naruto. Mom said that the Uchiha is not complete until they learn the fireball jutsu. Before I go to war, I want to be a complete Uchiha, he said. Shisui was happy to hear that. Alright then, Shisui said. Now the jutsu you want to learn is called the fire style, fireball jutsu. Watch me carefully, he said. As he molded the chakra, as Naruto felt it, he molded it in his throat as he compressed it, before releasing it in a ball of flames. As Naruto clones were focused on Shisui really hard, as Shisui saw them looking at him, as Naruto had said something to them, he was using his clones to gather information. He was a really smart kid. As the fireball was about the size of a huge rock, as he blew it over the lake. So, that's the secret behind the technique, said Naruto as he smirked. As Naruto went to talk with the clones, as Shisui watched as they nodded and spoke back to him. After a moment, Naruto stepped back in front of Shisui. I'm ready now, he said. Alright then, give it a try. As Naruto went through the proper hand signs, he felt something burn in his chest as he compressed it. He then opened his mouth. Fire style, fireball jutsu. A fireball half inside of Shisui was released from Naruto's mouth. The attack was small, but yet it was so potent the lake started to rise steam up in the air because it was intensely hot. His chakra is more powerful than mine, Shisui thought. Despite it not being a larger Shisui, Naruto's chakra was a lot more powerful. He truly is a prodigy. Ape just copy thing that he see on the fly. That's enough for today, said Shisui. You did well, as he patted Naruto in the head. I feel tired, said Naruto. Let's go home, Shisui said. Time skip. The next day, Naruto opened his eyes. He looked at the ceiling. He was in his house. The training took a toll on him. He couldn't completely master the fireball, but it was a good attempt. He felt someone sleeping beside him as he turned. It was none other than his father. As he tapped his father's shoulder, Minato opened his eyes as he saw his elder son was awake and looking at him curiously. Last night was rough. He and Mikato had the biggest fight of their life, but he didn't blame her. The fact that Naruto came home after he had passed out and Shisui brought him back. Shisui had to stand there and hear her rant for about 30 minutes before he was allowed to leave. And then she turned her sights on Minato once again as she don't get out of the bedroom. Morning, Naruto, said Minato. Let me guess. She's pissed, said Naruto with a chuckle. Minato chuckled as well, but Naruto's eyes then went wide. That I am, said Mikato. As Naruto turned slowly, she was standing at the door, with her Sharingan activated, a pissed off serious look on her face. She moved forward and bumped him on the head. You idiot! What are you thinking? Mom, I can explain, he said. How can you even think of going into black light? You can get killed easily, she said, as her tone was filled with worry and concern, and a bit rage, as she sat right in front of him and looked in his eyes. I have to do it, said Naruto. Yesterday, I saw Jonin hugging his daughter. And if he doesn't come back alive, she will cry. Many more children will cry. And I can't let that happen. As Naruto was quite shocked when she slapped him. He was surprised. She had never hit any of her boys, even Minato was shocked. As he looked up, her Sharingan faded away, tears falling from her eyes. Don't you think about how I feel, she said. Don't I mean anything to you, she asked sadly. Minato did not utter a single word. She had warned him that she didn't want to talk to him. It was best that he not speak because he had to save the relationship. That's not true. I love you more than anything, said Naruto. Then please don't go. Join some regular force. I cannot watch one of my son walk straight into the gates of hell. I cannot live knowing that you will be in the most dangerous missions where your life would end at any moment. You are my son. I brought you in this world. I raised you. I look after you. I stood by you every day. I cannot just let anything happen to you, she said. As Naruto gently hugged her, he was in a lot of emotional turmoil. What could he do? As Naruto remembered what Shisui had told him, and he then remembered the little girl crying. Mom, I'm sorry, he said, but I made my choice. She broke the hug. Did he really mean that? Did she mean nothing to him? I'm not going to allow this, even if you're a shinobi now. You will not go. Mom, he said as he raised his tone. Mikoto was shocked. This is who I am. I'm a shinobi, and I will follow only one code. Live for nothing or die for something. I cannot let my personal feelings get in the way when my country's existence is at stake. So, you're abandoning me, she said. No, I will never abandon you, said Naruto. But you will die, she said. So be it. Death is in regular forces, but in doing so I can change something, said Naruto. And I'm willing. As she saw a look in his eyes, he wasn't going to back down. Despite your feelings, despite the dangers, she couldn't understand him at all. Is that your final decision, Naruto Namikaze, she said. Yes, said Naruto sadly. She roughly got up as she made her way towards the exit and turned and gave them a harsh look. You are making the wrong choice, Naruto, because hell awaits you. As she slammed the door roughly and left them alone. Time skip. 2 weeks later, it was midnight in Konoha. As Naruto slowly got from his bed, it was time to go. These past 2 weeks has been the most difficult time of his life. His mother had not talked to him once, and when Itachi found out about it, he was against the decision as well. The only one that stood by his side was his father. Both of them stayed in Naruto's room because Mikoto had clearly banned Minato. She didn't even look at the two of them, most likely didn't even exist. The house was tense. He spent most of his time training with Shisui. He learned the fireball jutsu, and he was starting to train in the shuriken jutsu as well. He was far from perfect, but he was getting there. Shisui even showed him the Shanshin, but he hadn't got that yet. He also met Mikasa and Armin a few times, and they became good friends. They still did not know him about the decision, but he really hoped they joined him. As he got dressed, this was it. As he made his way towards the gate, he didn't want to disturb his mother, so he was leaving without telling her. He didn't want to cause her more pain, but Itachi was outside sitting in front of a lake. What was he doing out here at this time? I'm sorry, said Itachi as he saw Naruto. Huh? Naruto was confused while Itachi was apologizing. You have to go alone and I can't come with you. I'm sorry, big brother, Itachi said. As Naruto chuckled softly and ruffled, Itachi's here. Well, as long as you stay healthy and take care of mom, I can keep on going, said Naruto. How can you smile, Itachi asked, quite angry. What do you mean? Why aren't you blaming me? I'm not gonna be able to help you, Itachi said. Why should I blame you? Big brother, it's not your fault I'm being sent to war. And if I blame you, I wouldn't be a big brother. And the reason I'm going is because I want to protect you and keep you safe. A few tears came in Itachi's eyes. And don't forget you're the future of this village and the son of the fourth Hokage. I'm leaving mom and the village to you, he said. As Itachi was in tears, as Naruto bumped him on the head. Ow, that hurt, Itachi said. Live to the fullest, Itachi, and die long after I do, said Naruto, as he smiled one last time for his younger brother. He didn't know if he would see him again, and if possible die with a smile on your face. If otherwise, I wouldn't be to forgive myself. And remember, I'll always love you no matter what. I love you too, brother, Itachi said. As Naruto walked away, leaving his brother behind, as Itachi sniffled, his eyes changed. They turned red, with a single black tomo in them, as he reached a gate, but a voice stopped him. So you're really leaving? His mother was there, but her back was turned towards him. Yes, said Naruto. Naruto, if you step out of that gate, don't you come back, she said in a choked voice. As she could barely control herself to say that, to find some way of making him turn back, to stay. As Naruto wanted to see her face one last time, but he couldn't. Perhaps this was his punishment for breaking her heart. Forgive me, he said, as he left. As Mikoto collapsed down to the ground, in tears. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want the next person to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications they posted. But for now, see you guys soon. Peace.